All right, we're going to go ahead and go over these questions. I'm going to go ahead and read the question, go over the answer. We're going to get through this pack. So, on an expressway, the move over line requires drivers to slow down, proceed with caution, and unable to change lanes away from an incident parked emergency vehicles. Remember, we want to protect first responders, tow truck drivers. They're there to help us if your car breaks down. If a police officer pulls you over because they see you're in a distressful situation. So we as drivers need to try to change lanes if possible. Next, the best advice for drivers in driving heavy fog is A, try not to drive until the fog is lifted. In some cases, you will have to drive with fog, and you've got to go slow. If you can't see, you need to pull over to the side, and you really, really have to be careful. Next, when it is very foggy, you should reduce your speed and turn on your windshield wipers and turn on your low beam headlights. You don't want to turn on your high beam headlights because that will reflect the fog particles back in your face. In some cases, you might have to turn on your heater to heat up the window or your defroster to cool it off. It just depends on what the temperature is. Next, in reduced visibility conditions, you need to work especially hard to see hazards because you need more, both A and B, you need more time to read and avoid particular hazards or dangers. It becomes extremely difficult to see in heavy rain. You should pull off to the edge of the road, pull off the roadway until it's safe. So you have to make a decision as a driver. Is it worth you trying to drive and get there and crash? Or is it worth you pulling over to the side and being 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes late? You can always call someone, hey, the weather's really bad. Oh, no problem. I understand. I didn't expect you to drive when the weather's this bad. When driving at night, it is good to keep your speed slow enough so you can stop within a range of your headlights. It's called overdriving your headlights. You will see that on your state examination. You need to be writing this information down. We're giving you a deep dive, a deep review, so you need to use this knowledge to really push yourself. In rain or snow, it can be hard to see and be seen. A good way to let other drivers know you are there is to turn on your low beam headlights. Next, you're driving on a clear night in an area with few street lights on. If you cannot see well with your headlights, use your high beam headlights when legal and keep your interior light off. When passing a large truck, do not cut in front of the truck too quickly because you may not provide adequate stopping distance of the truck, so you don't want to cut off trucks. When driving at night with your high beam headlights on, you must dim your lights when you are within 500 feet of an oncoming vehicle. Next, if the oncoming driver at night fails to use low beam headlights, you can attempt to reduce glare by frequently looking to the right edge of the road. It's called the edge line or fog line. Motorcycle operators have the right to the full use of the traffic lane. If you see a pedestrian with a white cane or guard dog wanting to cross at a corner, you should pull up to the crosswalk and stop so the person can hear the engine. So they're listening for those sounds, that vibration. So it's really important that you pause for a second because there are people with canes, with dogs, and they're trained to do that. Next, when driving through a highway work zone, you should be prepared for lane shifts, alternative closures. So you always have to be aware, you always have to be prepared. You do not have to stop for a school bus that has stopped on the other side of the divided highway. So you need to know what a divided highway is. When you're when you're preparing to stop for a school bus, this is the same type of question but slightly different. When you are approaching a school bus stopped at a roadway with its hazard lights flashing, you should pass the school bus with caution. This is true because little kids are starting to come out. They'll see, but they're excited. They're going to roll right out in front of you. Motorcycles should be followed at a greater distance. Always search for motorcycles before changing lanes, passing on an expressway, or entering an intersection. Now, we see 1, 2, 3, 4. We see about 5 or 6 questions dealing with motorcycles, dealing with school buses. The people who made this test at the state, school buses are very important because out in the morning, motorcycles are very important. They're hard to see. So these are a series of questions you should be able to get right. A motorcycle's smaller size makes it difficult for vehicle drivers to judge the motorcycle's speed and distance. If you want to pass a motorcyclist on a narrow roadway, when an oncoming vehicle is approaching, slow down and let the vehicle pass and then pass the bicyclist. This is true. You should stay in an open space to the right of a tractor trailer truck because, excuse me, they make wide right turns. Next, in an expressway, you should avoid driving between 2 trucks. This is true. A large truck is driving in the middle of the lane of 3 lanes of traffic going in the same direction. You want to pass. It is best to pass on the left. You are coming toward an intersection. You see a semi-truck coming to the intersection to make a left, about to turn right. You should expect the semi-truck to make a wide turn. Part of your lane will be completed in its turn. So some of your lane will be taken up by that semi-truck. So you should expect that. We see some questions on semi-trucks now. You should allow more space in front of your vehicle when following large trucks because you need extra room to see around trucks. So we've had motorcycles, we've had trucks, we've had intersections. So these are a series of questions that are going through those elements, and you should be circling these, marking them off. What's up, Jackson? All right. The driver of a large truck will have difficulty, the most difficulty seeing the sides of a truck. The correct answer is the sides and rear. There are 4 blind spots: left side, right side, front, and back. They're called the no zones. 29. When driving behind a large, slow-moving vehicle on a rural road, you should leave enough space so it doesn't block your view of potential dangers. This is true. I'm going to do more than all of you. Then I'll call someone. Type in something you learned. All of you type in something you learned right now. Type in something you learned. Everyone in here, type in something you learned. This is a great review, and I believe in reviewing and preparing for any type of driving situation. This is how you learn. Jackson, hopefully things are going well for you. How's your driving going? Did you pass your test? Are you driving? Do you have a car? Do you have a job? Let me know. Again, if you guys have questions, just put those questions in. Thank you for the thumbs up. Let's keep this thing going. Type in something you learned. So it's nice to hear from you, Jackson. I really appreciate you. 100%. Got a little bit of a cold, so And let's try to make it through. Really appreciate it. Okay, I asked you to put in information on something you learned. We're preparing for the test. We want to make sure we are ready and focused. Trucks have the no zones. There are 4: left side, right side, front, and back. We want to try to pass on the left if possible. Intersections are some of the most dangerous places. We want to scan left, middle, right. Pedestrians are the most vulnerable. Also, gas stations are very dangerous too because people are running out to get gas, running back to their car. You should not leave your car running. You should not leave your car unattended. Never leave your car unattended. 1, your car could get stolen. 2, if you step out of your car, you now are creating static electricity. And I'm not saying it could explode, but you have gas vapors. You never know. It is very unlikely, but we're not trying to start a gasoline potential explosion because typically when cars are almost empty, there's more pressure in the gas tank. There's more, there's actually a suction when you let it out because the fuel pump is in the tank. So you shouldn't be around open flames or sparks, okay? And I don't want to take a chance. Anything could happen. And you shouldn't be on your cell phone either. There's always the potential. So we just don't want to take chances. Large trucks turning right onto a street with 2 lanes in each direction. Always use part of the left lane to complete the turn. The correct answer is true. So give trucks room. When passing a large truck, it's important to leave as much space between you and the truck because they often create wind turbulence. So now we see a series of questions on trucks, motorcycles, intersections, and bikes. And then this is mixed in with expressways, acceleration lanes, diamond lanes, weave lanes. So now if you look at the questions, they've completely changed. So if I were you, I would put expressway or highway. The past few questions are trucks. I'm trying to have you get your plan of attack. So when you take your knowledge test, you're not just, oh, these are truck questions. Oh, these are intersection questions. You visualize, oh man, these are pedestrian car questions. If you think it in terms of a series of questions, now you're going to be more successful. Instead of just taking the test, have a strategy, have a plan. Okay? Have a plan. Next, an acceleration lane allows the driver to enter the expressway and increase speed and blend with traffic. But we know beginning drivers don't hit the gas really hard. You don't pick up speed. And if you don't pick up speed, we're going to have to abort the merge, and that's very dangerous. So my beginning drivers, when you went on the expressway, drive 4, drive 5, we want to make sure we're hitting that gas and getting up to speed. Deacceleration lane. Deaccelerate means to slow down. I would put in equal, slow. Accelerate means to go fast. There are certain key words. Deaccelerate. Deacceleration lane is the lane that allows the driver to reduce speed prior to the ramp. A lot of beginners don't slow down. We almost lose control and go into the ditch. I don't want that to happen. In terms of policies for drivers, those policies are left up to the state and the legislatures. Every state or region makes rules based upon the National Highway Safety Transportation. Every community is different. Unless there's a rare situation where a lot of drivers are having accidents, a lot of drivers are getting killed. Most states have a graduated license now. So I don't really think an elected leader or really has something to say about driver's education, unless they may say, you know what, we need to make it free because a lot of people in it should be free. It should be. But unfortunately, it's taken out of the public schools and now it's in a third party tester. I'm a third party tester. I also was in school when they had it in school, and I drove for a school that I'm not going to say just before they dropped driver's education. So you guys will be in your 20s. Maybe they might bring it back. Maybe they might not, because you have to pay the instructor's wage. You have to have insurance. You have to have gasoline. You have to have health benefits. And you have to have at least 3 to 5 cars. So it can be expensive for a smaller district. Bigger districts, there's some districts around the country that still have driver's ed. There's some districts in our location that still have driver's ed. But the bigger districts in that area don't do it anymore. So 33, the acceleration lane allows you to accelerate up to speed. The acceleration lane slows down. The diamond lane, I would draw that diamond shaped. You're going to see that. That's all the above. HOV is high occupancy vehicles. You got to have more than one person. California has that. For example, at certain times during the day, you have to have more than one person in the car. What happens? If I don't, you get a ticket. It's used for certain traffic, such as bikes, golf carts, and joggers. White diamond painted on the lane identifies this lane is reserved for special vehicles. The weave lane, we're not talking about a weave that goes in your hair or hair that you can buy. A weave, you're welcome. A weave lane is a lane that crosses traffic either over the top or below. It's very dangerous. The weave lane, entrances and exits are commonly shared, and beginning drivers tend to panic because they don't know what to do. Sometimes they go too slow. We have to tap the brakes and let the car pass us, or we have to hit the gas and go in front. So it's always that uncomfortable moment where a client could crash. So the best thing to do is leave space. What are some of the characteristics of expressway driving? This is a very good question. It's all of the above. There are minimum speeds, maximum speeds. In our area, 75 is the max, 55 is the minimum. There's an uninterrupted flow of traffic. You can have highway hypnosis. This is where you're driving for a long time and you start not paying attention. There are separate roads for 2 lanes, more lanes in the same direction. In some areas near huge metropolitan downtown Detroit, Michigan, downtown Houston, Texas, downtown Los Angeles, California, you will have lanes specifically for express traffic, higher rates of speed, 4 lanes. They go for about 5 or 10 miles, no exits. Then you have the local lane. Every single exit is there. So you need to know, do I want to be in the express lane? Go straight downtown? Or do I want to be in the local lane? I want to get off at exit 220. You do have to share lanes with other vehicles, so you got to be aware. And it is a limited access. You take a road to get on, a road to get off. They are gentle banked curves. They're graded hills. If you've been through Texas, which I have, it's an incredible experience. So 37, what are the steps to properly proceed to enter the expressway? It's all the above. You want to first check to make sure you're going the right way. Are you entering the expressway where you need to? Are you checking the flow of traffic? Are cars going with you, or are they coming at you? If they're coming at you, you're going the wrong way. Next, adjust your speed to the gap in traffic. If they're going 70, you got to go 70. If they're going 75, well, you might have to go a little faster. I can't really recommend that because I'm an instructor, but if you are scared to go at a faster speed, you should stay to the right. A lot of beginning drivers are scared to go really fast, so you need to stay to the right side of the road. You do have to activate your turn signal. There's a lot to think about. And you want to accelerate to get to that gap. A gap is a space. You want to look ahead and target your steering, entering the lane, getting up to speed, and then you want to cancel your blinker and maintain good speed. When entering a freeway, you should, the correct answer is enter the speed of the traffic. So these are all expressway, highway questions. I would write down at the top and group them by number. Again, I'm giving you a strategy to be successful. What are the following steps for properly exiting? It is all the above. Verify the exit. Am I at the right exit? Yeah, exit 75. Okay. Check the ramp. Is it clear? Is it a curve? Is it a blind spot? Is it turn signal activated? Is it backed up? Those of you who will be driving to school, you won't really have rush hour. But those of you who are going to a downtown metro area, you're going to have incredible amounts of traffic. So you have to know, you might be going 70 and all of a sudden you're off the expressway and it's a curve. If you don't slow down, you're going to go off the curve. Or it's traffic that's backed up. I've seen cars, rear-end cars. You do want to maintain speed, recheck mirrors and blind spots, and then steer into the center of the exit ramp. Cancel the signal. Maintain a proper space cushion. I always like saying that word, space cushion. Even on express, keep your space. And speaking of space cushion, what is the space cushion? It is the space between your vehicle and the one ahead of you. It allows you a safe stopping distance prior to the point of collision. A lot of beginning drivers wait too long and we almost hit a car. So I want you to see the rear of the tires on the ground. I need all of you to tell me what you learned. I've done 40 of them. All of you type in a couple things you learned. This is your chance to show me that you're paying attention. Yeah, every state has different rules. Yes, they're interstate rules. 75 runs from different states all the way down to Florida. So whatever, let's use 75 as an example. That road runs from the top of northern Michigan all the way down to Florida. So Florida rules will be different than Atlanta, Georgia rules. Atlanta, Georgia, you like that, Jackson, right? And then Florida's rules are different than Atlanta, Georgia rules. Atlanta, Georgia rules are different than Michigan rules. So every state is different. If you're a truck driver driving different states, you need to abide by those rules once you get into that particular state or municipality. So you really have to, you got to know your rules and be safe. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of cold, but it's real. Type in where you guys are from. Where are all of you from? What part of the country? Are you from the United States? Are you outside of the United States? You know, do you just have your license? Are you in a permit phase? Are you on a TIP, a temporary instruction permit? What do you have? Type that in. I'm just on the phone right now. If I had to the computer, I could type in questions to get some more interaction. But where are you guys from? I'm from the Midwest. I need all of you to watch my videos and leave some comments. I'll go live later. Bye.